The Celtics were up 20 points and choked it away to Brunson and the Knicks to go up 1-0 in the series in overtime, while Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers stunned the Cleveland Cavaliers to gain home court. And another thriller was the Denver Nuggets would last night hit a game winner from Anthony Gordon. I mean, not Anthony, Aaron Gordon. His second this postseason, Game 4 versus the Lakers was his other one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
are you sure? Like, what are the takeaways from that? So, Denver beating the best team in basketball, and
I mean, I'm not really
should we
surprised.
start thinking that the Nuggets could win it all?
No.
Probably not.
I'll be honest. Whichever team comes out of this side, or the Warriors and Timberwolves, I think is going to go to the finals. I genuinely do. I don't think the Nuggets against the Warriors is like every time the Warriors play them in the playoffs, they win like 5 or 6. And the Thunder is like the best team in the league, obviously, so that's going to be a tougher task. But they're losing to the Nuggets pretty. Like they seem very inexperienced, dude. If they get past the Nuggets, then maybe they have a really good chance. Their team is so greatly put together, but I don't know. I don't think the Nuggets are capable of winning. They make too many mistakes, in my opinion. And once Jokic is off the court, it's very hard. But to that Knicks and Celtics game, when I got away from that, Jason Tatum in the fourth quarter and overtime was 1-9, 1 for 9. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I haven't seen him play that bad in very,
Bro,
very
I
long.
got some statistical nuggets here.
Go
The
ahead.
Celtics were 64-0 entering tonight with a 20-point lead in any playoff game in the play-by-play era since 1997 in the 80-98 season. The Celtics led by 16 at half. It's the largest blown halftime lead in Celtics postseason history.
20-9 run.
And Boston is the first team to attempt 63s in the playoff game and missed the most threes in a playoff history as well, with 45 missed.
They still won. Oh my gosh. That's the thing about
Boston
Boston.
is just. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's the thing about Boston, bro. They take too many threes and they don't make any. Okay, that's my thing. Hey, I know you got Derek White and you got Jason Tatum, and you can shoot those threes with those guys and Peyton Pritchard and Jalen Green or Jalen Brown sometimes. Porzingis when he's there, but it's just their play style to me. When a team is healthy against the Celtics and they play like that in the playoffs, I don't think that's a winning championship. Like I don't think that's a winning way to go win a championship. I just don't agree with it. They take too many threes. They're sloppy. They're sloppy threes a lot of the times, and really bad shots. And that's kind of what helped the Knicks come back last night. They were getting steals. They were getting all these easy rebounds because they're taking these stupid threes. And Jason Tatum's not being clutch. Their best player, Jason Tatum, isn't being clutch for the first time all year because he was pretty clutch throughout the first and second half of the season. And I mean, Derek White was carrying them. That's like their fourth best player. He had 19 points and 11 rebounds. I mean, I know Jason Tatum and Brown both had 23 points for the Celtics combined. So I don't know. 45 missed and 3-pointers to blow a game is kind of crazy to me.
That's 60 to put up 60. That's half of 100. That's not even half. That's almost. That's close to. That's only 40 from 100. Like that's ridiculous.
I think
They're the epitome of live by the three and die by the three. Yesterday, they died by the three. Do I think that continues all series? Probably not. I still think they got this in 6 or 7, most likely. I don't think they quite match up, or the Knicks don't quite match up well with Boston, just in the sense that I don't think they can go band for band with them 3-point shooting the entire series because there's going to be a couple of games, like there always is, where Boston just absolutely explodes from the 3-point line. And they were so uncharacteristically cold from three yesterday. I don't think that continues. I wouldn't be too concerned if I was a Celtics fan.
I'm still, dude. The thing about this game is like they need Cat to like score more. Okay, he was 6 for 13. That is my biggest concern about this team. Okay, obviously Mikal Bridges is not the greatest scorer. He was 3 for 13, but their backbone throughout the entire season was Karl Anthony Towns. and he was able to score and be Jalen Brunson's number 2 and his screen guy. He only had 14 points, which is 14 and 13, great, but he was 6 for 13. And I think he needs to take a little bit more shots and try to find himself a little bit in these playoffs. He's been a no-show pretty much, in my opinion. He was putting up like 22 and 20 rebounds at one point for like a straight week this season, and he was in like MVP conversations like early on, but like still helped the Knicks get so many wins, and the big reason why they got to 50 wins. Him and Mikal Bridges are going to need to step it up if they want to beat this team anywhere near 7 games, like anywhere before 7 games. If they want to win in 6, I need to see a big game out of them in this next game, and then obviously when they get back to New York. But I like the trade they got for Cat. It's just that it needs to pay off now. This is the time when it needs to pay off.
Yeah, I mean, here goes his. If anyone didn't see it, here goes Aaron Gordon's 3-point shot. I mean, Chet Holmgren had also missed 2 free throws too.
It rims out. Brown grabs it. 7 seconds left. Westbrook, 5 seconds. They're down by 1. Gordon got it. Aaron Gordon with a deep shot. Williams 3-quarter court. No good. The Nuggets steal game 1. That's a winner for Aaron Gordon. 121 to 119.
I don't know, man. Denver looks like a problem.
I will say that fourth quarter, Jokic was getting these unbelievable whistles. I was watching that last quarter. I didn't watch the entire game, but when I watched that last quarter, I was just shocked. Like he was in the post, go up, foul. It was like watching Shea all season, and then you get to the playoffs, it's Jokic. I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like they switched up a little bit, but hey, got to give kudos to him. 44 and 22 or whatever he had, and the team around him, they're built for it, man. They won the championship before. Westbrook's on a roll right now. He actually made the right play right there. He didn't take the shot. He didn't take the shot. He passed the ball this time, and I'm actually happy for him. I love me some Westbrook, and I want to see him get a ring. But
I think within the next 2 or 3 seasons, this will be the time that he could get a ring.
But there's the thing, though, he might not even be on this team next year. So this is the only time he could get a ring.
I think that's hard to say. I mean, I think he'll still be on that team because the way
they
looked as well with him on the floor as well, the energy he brings, you can't replace that. They might add someone. He may get less of a contract deal. He may take less to be on a winning team. But it's hard for me to think that the Nuggets would lose Westbrook.
Bro, they were talking about. There was rumors like right before playoffs started when he was making these like silly mistakes that he was not going to be on the team next year or something like that. And I'm like, dang, really already? Like I feel like him and Jokic worked together very well when Jamal Murray was out for a while. Like when Westbrook had the start for that cool like 2-3 week stretch, Westbrook was putting up really good numbers, and even if he wasn't starting, he was putting up great numbers as a 6-man, putting up triple doubles, giving them wins, and just making smart plays. But last night was the Westbrook show right there at the end. I don't know. I just feel like him on that team it's a great signing, great pickup. I think they should keep him for as long as possible. But he's just so smart, and he made the smart play last night. Aaron Gordon, I was not expecting him to make that. I'll be honest. I was thinking, maybe Michael Porter Jr. That's a obviously good 3-point
2 points,
right? But hey, I was shocked. I was like, wow, Aaron Gordon. There we go. But good for them though. I don't think they're winning the series still, but if they do, can't rule them out. And I really don't want them to, because then Jokic will be considered better than Giannis all the time. But if they win the finals at least. But if they get there, they still got to win it. So
my thing is about OKC. I don't think they have a closer on that team. They just don't have someone that you get the ball to in that last 30 seconds that you can trust to go get you a bucket. I think Shea is close, but I just don't know. This feels like those first few years when the Bucks really emerged as a top team. and it took them 3 years to actually win a title. I kind of feel the same way about this Thunder team. I saw an anonymous exec 2 months ago. Despite with how good the Thunder were, they won 68 games this year, saying that they didn't see them as a legit contender for the title. And I can definitely see where they're coming from on that, just with the lack of overall, just not having a closer. A lot of these guys are still inexperienced despite making a deep run last year and already being in the second round this year. I still have my questions about whether this team is going to be able to close out a game. I actually agreed with the decision to follow up 3 that entire last stretch of time.
Oh yeah, I agree.
As long as you're making your free throws. They didn't make their free throws at the end, and that's why Denver was able to get up the floor so quickly, and the transition defense there was a little spotty too. A lot of guys weren't back yet. I don't think they were anticipating 2 misses, and Aaron Gordon was able to sneak behind Alex Caruso, get to the wing, and get to his spot, and then nail a rhythm jumper to win the game.
Yeah, Chet, man, I don't know. It was a similar situation. I'll give you kind of a flashback here when Pewaukee played Tyler Hero in his last high school game in the playoffs, and we did the same exact thing. Fouled at the end, and had to send to the line or whatever, and he missed one, and it gave us kind of a chance to go down the court, and then they had to start fouling us, and then we went to the free throw line and started making our free throws, and we were up. In this case, didn't make any free throws, missed both of them, and that was kind of the heartbreaker. I mean, Shea had 30, 33, and 10. He did and 8 assists, so he did his job, but it's just he didn't get a chance to close it out right there because the guy that was supposed to make his free throws missed both of them. So I wouldn't really put that on him, I guess, but he, I think the Thunder. I still think they're gonna be able to pull this out. They lost to a game winner. That shows to go like this team is okay. I think they're just fine. Lost on a game winner in game 1, whatever. Take the next game and take one in Denver and come back, win that one, and you'll be straight. So that's my opinion.
Here goes a quick updated look at the playoffs. You got,
what you got, man?
Them Pacers, man. I tell you,
something wrong with them, bro. I don't know. I don't get it, bro. Their role players are absolutely unreal. Tyrese Halliburton always shows up against the Bucks and the Cavaliers, but when he plays the Knicks or Celtics next round, if they make it, he won't. I just don't think he'll play as good because he never has against the Knicks and Celtics. He's not that great, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what the Cavs are doing wrong. I was watching the game and I'm like, what is going on? Why are the Pacers making all these shots? And I figured it out kind of. They're having the center, Jared Allen, top of the key like they did Brook Lopez, exactly like how they are switching. Jared Allen. There was one shot that Tyrese had on Jared Allen, which is ridiculous, and Jared Allen's at the top of the key trying to guard him, doing his little dance, and Tyrese had him in a blender, and that's exactly what they did to Brook Lopez. And guess what? Guess what that frees up? That frees up a guy in the corner on the wing or another guy on the top of the key when they start switching up on the perimeter, and Tyrese just swings it out and bang, hit. I figured it out. I don't know what, and we figured it out too in the last game as a Milwaukee fan that you can't have Brook Lopez on in the fourth quarter. It wasn't going to happen because they knew exactly what they were going to do, and Jared Allen was getting switched and just barbecue chicken the entire time. So if they want to figure that out, they gotta find like a very strict defender on Tyrese, and I think then they'll figure it out. And pull out the series. But right now it's not looking great for Cavaliers. Plus they're injured too, so that's another thing.
Yeah,
The thing for me is just how unselfish Indiana plays basketball. All their role players know their role to a T, and they're so good at moving the ball. It's very reminiscent to me of that 2021 Phoenix Suns team that went all the way to the finals. Super unselfish basketball, always able to find the open shooter. That's just what they're so good at. And it feels like every shot they took, especially in the first series against Milwaukee, was open. They were able to keep the defense on their toes, and it was just basically whether they were going to hit their open shots or not. And Game 1 was very reminiscent. It felt like a Game 6 to the Bucks series almost in a way. And they're a resilient team too. They're able to withstand other teams' big runs. Cleveland went on a huge run in that game in the third quarter, where most teams would probably roll over and die. Indiana was able to call a timeout. Rick Carlisle must have said some good things to them in the huddle, calmed them back down. They were able to come back out and take the lead back and ultimately hold off the Cavs in their home to win game 1.
It's ridiculous, man. Yeah, Rick Carlisle is a very, very underrated coach. He does not get a lot of credit for what he does. His in-game adjustments are like top tier. I've not seen the coach call their team into a huddle, like you said, on a run like that the Cavs had. I forget the number, but they had some crazy run going on. They were not missing anything. They came back, adjusted, and were just perfectly fine and went on the run themselves. So shout out to Rick Carlisle. I like him as a coach a lot. It's just I don't like the Pacers at all. But that's just me as a Bucks fan. And Aaron Naismith and Nembhard, dude, it was a crazy stat. He scores like 9 points in the regular season and off like 40% shooting, and then he gets to the playoffs. He's 15 points per game and like 56% shooting or something like that. I forget all the exact numbers, but those are the ones that stood out to me. I knew I wasn't crazy when I was watching him play against us, and he just plays so well in the playoffs when it matters. And it's very shocking because you just don't expect it out of a player that averages less than 10 points in the regular season, and he turns up in the postseason and every year. So they can rely on him to be making these top of the key or wing shots or getting an easy layup off a back door or something like that. And I mean, the Pacers just have so many options. They picked up Neesmith from the when the Celtics dropped him and stuff like that. So they got a lot of things to work with. The Cavs are going to have to adjust accordingly to get this next game out of them.